Okay, well, welcome everyone. This is the first of two member Q&As via Zoom for the month of September 2025. And I have to start getting very specific with my dates at this point because we've been doing this series for just about 3 years at this point. I think we're at our 3-year anniversary.
Yay.
Yes, yay. My name is Betsy Ko, and Stephen, who just said yay, he was on the very first one with me, and we decided to team up on this. And then very soon thereafter, Murray Maloney also joined our crew of hosts, and Denise Jarrett has been a faithful and very excellent contributor to the conversations for a long time.
Oh,
And
bless your heart.
so much so that we thought Denise really needs to be a host. So it's the four of us here tonight who are standing by to help you in real time, whether you just joined WikiTree last month or whether you've been on the site for a couple of years, and wherever you are, we'll try and answer your questions. So Steve did volunteer to let us look at his profiles and answer some specific questions. So Steve, before we talk to you about that, could you tell us a little bit about how long you've been on WikiTree?
So I've been on WikiTree for about 2.5 weeks.
Okay, love it. And what brought you to the website?
So I don't remember exactly what got me here, but once I did get here, it seemed to me that there might be a lot of advantages that I could gain from DNA. I already have DNA in Ancestry, but I seemed to see that you guys seemed to connect them all. And I was, it's not clear to me that that's actually true anymore. But that's one of my biggest driving questions. And second question for me would be for you to look at I put in about 15 profiles.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that you'll look at them, and I don't mind being criticized. I don't take any of this personally. So I'm looking forward to you telling me how badly I've done things.
Oh,
Well, we all start somewhere, so don't feel
exactly.
bad.
There's a big learning curve. And luckily, I would say of the four of us, Murray is the most knowledgeable about DNA. So Murray, we're going to let you chime in when we get to that topic. So Steve, why don't you go ahead and screen share?
All right. Okay, good. So you should be seeing
Yes.
you should be seeing my DNA page.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll jump right in. So my first issue or question. So I have two parents who tested on let's see, on tree. Okay, hold on. I'll get there.
New one.
Tested on, here's my dad, Bill Schneider. He tested on family tree DNA, mitochondrial. He's passed. He took this test in 2006.
Okay.
So a good long time ago. And I'm partly not even sure how he got on this list, but I think I must have done it. And so my mom is here as well. She's let's see, she's here. I'm not exactly sure how. Here's my mom, and I'm not sure exactly. Here I am, and here she is. Here my dad, and here he is. So I noticed a difference. For instance, why didn't it pick my dad to put here? I'm just curious. But instead it picked my mom, so I don't know how that happened. My
Well,
mom is
that's
also
because
higher up here as well. Go ahead.
That's because she is your mitochondrial DNA ancestor. That's a mitochondrial test. So her ancestor, sorry, she is your ancestor along the matrilineal line.
Okay.
Now, did
So-
either of them take an autosomal test?
So funny you should ask. About 5 days ago, I paid Family Tree DNA to extend each of their tests to autosomal, and I have not gotten a response yet.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my next question then.
Yep.
I think I did something, I'm not sure exactly what, to get these two names on this list. And if I understand, what I've come to learn is that it's my personal action by clicking a button somewhere that put these people, my parents, on this list. It's not like WikiTree took my DNA data and said, "Oh, here's Bill Schneider, and he's related really close. He must be your dad." Am I correct in that?
Not exactly, no. So what's happened here is you've obviously told WikiTree that your parents have taken the DNA tests. So you've done their add DNA test information on each of their profiles. Is that correct?
Yes.
But
Okay, so that's the action that you took that got them on this list. So what you'll see is on this list are all people who have taken a DNA test. Well, most of them will be cousins of yours, but in this case, you've added the tests for your parents, and so they also show. And so basically, anybody that's got a DNA connection to you, who is related to you blood-wise, will be on this list.
So does that mean that this person, Sophie Schneider,
Yes.
born in 1826, somehow she's related to me?
Sophie
So-
Schneider is, yes, Sophie Schneider is somehow related to you. And she's done a mitochondrial test, and yet she's showing an ancestor, Jerry Ahonen. Now, so I wonder if it's the other way around. I wonder
The
whether
other way
Jerry
around, isn't it? Because I
took
saw on the right-hand side earlier, I saw Aowen's name. So the people on the right are the people who have the test, and the people on the left are the ancestors, is what it looks like.
right.
except it's in the left column. It says test taker.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Yeah,
go to the top of
that's
the column.
interesting to me.
I'm going to go to the top of the column. Here
Yep.
we go.
So you
So
see where
let's
Aowen
take
is showing up?
let's take Andreas Schneider on the left.
Just
Are we saying that
especially-
he or she is related to me?
Through Janet Davison is what it looks like. Janet Davison might be your cousin, and that connects through Andreas Schneider.
You know
Andreas
how we can
Schneider
find
is-
out.
Go ahead.
You know what we're going to do is we're going to so over where it says Janet Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice there's a little, looks like a horseshoe.
Yes.
Click on that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your relationship to Janet.
Mhm.
So you are first cousins 6 times removed.
Well, that's between Janet and Andreas. So we're seeing their relationship.
Right.
But they're probably going to connect similarly if it's showing this is an option in that list.
Right.
The
So
common
now
ancestor would be Andreas.
Andreas is the common ancestor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, go ahead and click on Andreas Schneider. Yeah. And oh yeah, you don't have that running. So go up to no, go up, and see where it says Andreas Schneider in the menu bar. Click there. Yep. And now go down to relationship to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no relation. You don't have a relationship with Andreas Schneider.
Okay.
Interesting.
Can
But you, yep, please.
Yeah, I want to backtrack to one important thing, especially because we have some very new people on the call. When you upload, you link your DNA to WikiTree, it then populates to all your ancestors that you have added onto WikiTree. So you will see DNA results on, say, people who were alive way before the time of the DNA test availability. And so, but that's because you have basically built the tree showing that paper trail. And so therefore, the DNA that you have linked is showing up on all their ancestors to a certain extent. And same for everybody else who links DNA.
I think it goes back 6 generations.
Yeah, we should emphasize that we're not actually uploading the DNA test itself, but we're linking to it usually from a third-party website, and that's allowing us to make these connections. So the DNA is not stored on WikiTree. We should make that clear.
So go ahead, Stephen, and go back.
Back to the list.
Yeah. Oh. This is on a different tab, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I'll find it. Here we go.
You have side tabs.
Okay.
Okay, so what I've just learned is that this list of people, and there's, wait for it, there's 126. These are people who all took the family tree DNA mitochondrial test. Somebody, one commenter out there just said, I can't remember who, that suggested that all these people were in some way connected to me. But what we just proved was that this person is not. At least it said there's no relationship.
But Janet is.
Oh, we think Janet is.
Yes.
Can I do the same test with her?
You can.
So I'm going to click on her. And then I'm going to, I'm already learning. This is teaching me already.
Yep.
Relationship
There
to
we
me.
are. And now, okay, this is interesting. So it must be
there?
choosing names that are Schneider that have taken the mitochondrial test, but not necessarily related to you. And maybe just displaying mitochondrial DNA test takers with that surname
Yeah, go back.
or ancestors connected.
Oops,
That's what I think is happening here. And I'm not even a DNA guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. And go back again.
To here?
Okay, so some names may not appear below for privacy. Some names may appear multiple times. Click to the test taker's profile for all available information or send them a message. If you have taken a DNA test for genealogy, select it here. Allow 24 hours for updates. Oh, so it actually is looking for surnames.
Because
Okay.
it's just under Schneider. It doesn't matter who's connected. Now, I mean, if they were all connected, you finally completed the Schneider, family, everything, then maybe you could find those pathways in there with a nice little name study.
But there is a DNA cousins page.
I have an idea, which I'm learning here. It just occurred to me, my two parents took the mitochondrial test, but I did not take the mitochondrial test. I passed family tree DNA, my autosomal test from Ancestry. So does that mean I should have picked an autosomal test?
Try it.
Well, actually, you can try that, but can you scan up the page a little bit first?
Yeah.
So on these tabs, you've chosen Schneider DNA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that just is there. I don't know how that showed up.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so you can click on any of those 5 tabs and see different things. So for instance, click on DNA tests. Yep. And that shows the tests that you have linked so far. And since Dan, I feel like you just wanted to know how to get your DNA linked to WikiTree, and I feel like we've thrown you into the pool at the 20-foot deep end here. This is under the menu at the top, the add menu. The add menu. You will get to this page that you're seeing from there, and then you can add your test details.
All right.
Yeah.
And so
Okay,
again,
so sorry.
for clarification to Dan, and you guys can correct if I'm wrong, all we do is, I don't even remember now if I actually uploaded my DNA. Do we?
No,
Did I actually?
no, you couldn't. You can't upload your DNA. That's what Betsy was saying earlier. That we don't upload our DNA to WikiTree. All we do is tell WikiTree, hey, I've got a DNA test or 2 or 3 or 4. I've got one at Ancestry. I've got another one at Family Tree DNA. I've copied my Ancestry DNA over to my Heritage. I've copied both my Ancestry and my Family Tree DNA over to what's it called?
GEDmatch?
GEDmatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've copied let's say my my Y DNA to what's that one that
Mito
Mag
Y-DNA?
Mito Y DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, Mito Y.
So you can name all the places where you've got DNA tests. And the point of doing that is to tell other people who might be connected to you, hey, Steve Schneider has done a DNA test and you have some connection to him. Okay. Now, if you go to your own tree, you and then go up to one of your ancestors, you will see that your DNA test is going to be listed on one of your ancestors'
Mhm.
profiles.
And is it only going to work with the maternal though, because of the
No, he
mtDNA
did.
test?
No, he did the autosomal. So
Okay.
if you go to if you go to one of your let's say William Washington Schneider, let's look at that and go scan down a bit. Oh, you're on. Okay, sorry. Oh, there we go.
Mhm.
So down a little bit further,
Uh-huh.
and there's your DNA connections a little bit further, and see it names you, and so you're the only person who's connected to this person through DNA. Now, look, if your brother had done a DNA test or your sister had done a DNA test and added that information on WikiTree, both of your names would be there. And if you had cousins who were related to you, let's say first cousins or second cousins, then their names would be there.
And when you
Mhm.
say related to me, that means
Yep.
they would need to be in my tree. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And the thing that you need to remember when you're working on WikiTree, as opposed to all the other places, is that there no longer is my tree, right? We
Right.
have a global
Right.
tree.
Right.
So we have a shared tree, but yeah, you're branches of the tree.
Mhm.
Mhm. And I'd also just like to highlight, because this is a common point of confusion. If you scroll back down to the DNA, Steve, it says 12.5%. So that is the theoretical percentage based on your relationship to this person.
Your
As
distance away.
yeah, as we all know, there's recombination, and so any grandparents and beyond is probably going to, show some variety, show a range of percentages of how much you get or share
Well,
with.
yeah, like your parents, your DNA would appear as 50%
Yes.
because your parents, you get half from your father and half from your mother. So with this 1250, that's telling me that that's a great grandparent.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you'll notice that it mentions Ancestry DNA,
Mhm.
Family Tree DNA, and My Heritage. So you've obviously put in that information. You've told WikiTree, hey, I've got these tests at these places. And so that information will be shared.
Mhm.
So then the idea being that if a cousin does see this, they may contact you and say, hey, let's check it out on these sites and see what actually overlaps in terms of like centimorgans, and see how close that relationship actually is. And then from there, you might be able to start working towards the concept of triangulation if you've got a third person involved and so forth. And that's something that Murray has worked pretty heavily on with his confirmations.
So how would I'm struggling a little bit. In other words, take Ancestry, which
Yep.
Ancestry will tell me a list of people, 25,000 people long.
Yeah.
And they're all the way down to somebody's connected to me by 3 centimorgans. And then
I think 8 is the minimum at this point.
Well,
Okay,
20 is the cutoff, but
okay,
good enough.
some real small number.
Could be
Yeah.
confident. Yeah.
So I could go to that person and or look for their actually they only tells me people who have sites on Ancestry. So I could go to that site and then I could look for some kind of mutual connection. I'm struggling to see how I can do that on this site.
Right.
In other words, what I showed earlier was the place that I was most interested in. Where's that list?
Of all the Schneiders that had DNA.
Yeah.
Yes, my cousin.
Yeah. Here we go.
My cousins might pull it up
Schneider
immediately,
DNA.
actually.
Was it here?
Schneider DNA,
The Schneider DNA. Yeah.
Even without using the DNA, my cousins could be an incredible tool to start with, just to see who the cousins are. And then, you can establish the relationships after that point.
Where is my cousins?
There should be a drop-down option from the
Under
top.
my WikiTree.
Yeah, go ahead and click on
Close cousins.
Close
That's what they're
cousins.
labeling it as.
Yep. Good point, Steve.
So without using DNA at all, this is just looking at the relationships that are established on WikiTree by going back to common ancestors and coming back forward again. This can tell you people that you're potentially genetically related to.
So I don't know about any other newbie here, but this is super. This is really very valuable to me. What you guys just taught me.
It already did all the hard work for you.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the people who are cousins of yours who have a WikiTree profile.
And is there something on? Oh, I see. What's this number on the left?
Is how many?
Go ahead, click on one of the numbers. And it's going to show you how are you related. So it's 10 steps. I think
10 degrees in this case, yes.
Yeah, I think it's the degrees of separation.
Okay, so this is yeah. If I got to remember how. And for the other newbies here that have the similar questions, how did we find this? The key was this one right here.
Close
cousins.
Close cousins.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tools on the site, honestly. When they introduced it a couple years ago, it solved so many more problems. Instead of having to search for people manually, it calculated everything for you and presented them in one space. That and My Connections are like the two ones that really display that stuff for you.
Now, what would be handy, and I seem to remember that there is such a thing. What would be handy is if this list also mentioned whether they had a DNA test. And it seems to me that there was such a thing previously, but I can't remember where it is.
Look here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
There.
Okay. So these are all people who have a test. And the question will be, well, where did they do their test? Now, if you recognize any of these names from your DNA match list on Ancestry, then you can start to explore how you're connected to them.
Well, and it shows you the common ancestor in that final column. So that's your common ancestor from these people on your left. And in the far right, those are your common ancestors. Those are the family members that you have in common. So
this by itself, again, is just tremendously valuable to me. This makes the whole night. If I learn nothing else tonight, this is the end of the rainbow.
I think you'll definitely want to talk to John because he's got 2,000 contributions and he is your closest cousin according to this list. So you guys might have a lot of overlapping genealogy and he might have a lot of stuff already put out there, so you're not going to duplicate your efforts. You might be able to link into his branches.
Why don't we go look at John's profile?
Yeah.
Just okay. All right, we
Yep.
will. Here we go.
So
And
who is
scroll
this?
down.
Hello, John. Is there a German line he's connecting in? Because I noticed a lot of Germans.
Keep
Ooh,
going.
Henderson's, Mingus's, Glover's.
Okay, so he's got quite a number of autosomal DNA cousins.
Mm-hmm.
What are they? 6 of them or 5 of them? 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he himself has done the Y. And but your name's not in there, so you're not close enough to him to have propagated down to him.
But don't we know that we're connected? That I thought that other list told us I was connected to him.
And
You're
who your
definitely,
common ancestor is. Yes, it did.
yes,
Yeah, it must be
but
just
you're
outside of range because if it's 10 degrees, is that
Mhm.
outside of DNA?
Oh,
let me think now. Um,
Because that would be a fourth cousin, right?
yeah, it should be within range. I'm not sure why it's not showing as being within. When did you add your DNA?
around about 2.5, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, actually.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it should show if there was a connection.
Mhm.
Let's go back up
Just outside.
and actually before you go any scroll back down a little bit. Maybe you like it this way and maybe you don't. But if you click on that family tab, it's a lot shorter, right? You don't have to see the whole tree every time.
Sure.
And there's a setting that you can do so that every time you come to a profile, you can choose whether you want to show the family view or the ancestors view or the descendants view. And that's in your where is it now? Under my WikiTree.
Within the settings.
And what's it called? It's not called settings anymore, is it? What's it
Account
called?
controls. Account control.
Account controls. If you go to account controls, and we're going to go down and look for
Uh,
Profiles. No. Oh,
yeah,
there it is.
there it
Yep.
is. See family, ancestor, descendants. So you
Yep.
can have, and do you have to save or do you have to?
Yes, you have to save your changes. There you go.
There you go.
Magic.
And so now, from now on, every time you come to a profile, it'll be on the family setting as opposed to being on the tree setting.
Mhm.
And it just saves you having to scroll quite as far.
You were trying to make it less irritating.
I'm learning a lot. So let's go back to DNA. Let's go back to the
Well, that's cool.
Schneider DNA. All right. So can somebody tell me now, everything that seems valuable to me is under the close cousins. What's the value of this list?
It's so if you go to your Y DNA, go back up and choose Y DNA test instead.
All
Under
type.
Y DNA family
No,
tree.
the one to the right, right? All tests.
Actually, you know what you could do is just go Y chromosome, all test Y chromosome. Sure, that's good.
Yeah, because that's going to go along the paternal line for that.
Yeah. So these are people who have done people with the name Schneider who have done a Y DNA test. But again, it's not telling you how you're, if you're related to them at all.
You're
Right. So I'm
just
not sure.
sharing the surname in this case. These are just the
Yeah.
list of folks with your surname.
And you can see there's lots of them. There's at least 13,000 Schneiders because
Mhm.
that's one of the highest numbers I'm seeing here. And you very well could not be connected to a lot of Schneiders on WikiTree because of how many there are.
And
Sure.
especially by the Y
Yes,
DNA, there's my Y DNA line, of course, is very narrow.
Yes. Now the thing about the Y DNA though is as it moves up, let's say you move up to your father, and so the only people that you can possibly connect with your father as the common ancestor will be your brothers or any male descendants, right?
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Now, if you move up to the grandfather, then you move out to the uncles. And if you move up to the great grandfather, etc. You follow me? So
Yes.
as you move up, there are more lines that descend down.
Yes.
So with Y-DNA and mtDNA, so I manage the mitochondrial DNA kits for a couple of my cousins, cousins of mine who are my eighth cousins, if I remember right, and we share a common a woman who was born around 1685 in the Gaspé Peninsula, and I don't carry her mitochondrial DNA, but my cousins do. And there are about, I don't know, 30 or 40 other women who, and some men who share that same mitochondrial DNA. So I've got, I'm managing, trying to understand who all of these people are, and they descend through four sisters back in, who were born back around 1705, let's say. Okay.
Okay.
So same deal with Y-DNA. You can go all the way back to, well, you can go all the way back as far as your male line goes. You can go all that distance, and there will be some variation among the descendants, and I'm not sure how far WikiTree will take that, but you can go pretty far back. So
Got it.
so that's the Y in the mtDNA, that they're, like you say, on a narrow line going up, but then they come back down.
Wider.
With
Okay.
the autosomal, of course, it spreads out very quickly.
So is there any value in me taking a Y chromosome test from family tree DNA? If I did that, what would change? What would be better for me here?
Well, so let me ask you first, do you have any brothers or uncles?
Just brothers.
Okay. So you could ask one of your brothers to also take a test. And then you could ask Family Tree DNA to also do your father's Y-DNA test. And then you would prove that you and your brother and your father are related. Okay. And then you could start looking for other people who might have that same Y-DNA signature.
How would I do that?
Well, again, on Family Tree DNA, you can look for your
Okay.
matches, and you get a list of people in the database who match you. Now, for example, on my Y-DNA, my only close matches. Well, no, that's not true. I have close matches with 3 known cousins. I have a little bit more distant matches with 2 people who I know are descended from a Maloney, but a Maloney who landed in the Carolinas, if I remember correctly, and then migrated into Kentucky. And the distance between my DNA and their DNA is a few steps bigger than with my cousins, but it looks pretty clear to me that Maloney line and my Maloney line have some relationship to each other. We just don't know exactly what the relationship is. Okay. But there's also some other people who are named Moore, who also are very closely related, it seems, on the Y-DNA, and we can't figure that out at all. We have no idea how they came along, but I found that I have, using autosomal DNA, I found that have a lot of cousins who um, didn't know that they were Maloney's,
Oh,
and so I've helped a number of people discover, that they had actually had a Maloney ancestor. One was born and living in England, and his father turned out to be a Canadian soldier
okay.
who was a Maloney, right? And then we figured that out. It took us about 1.5 years, but we figured it out. So that's
Got it.
the kind of thing that you might be able to do. But let me let me say, it takes a long time. My mitochondrial DNA, I have no matches at all, none. Now, my grandmother was born in Macedonia, which was part of the Ottoman Empire at the time. And am I ever going to find anybody that matches that? I don't know. Right. So some of these things with DNA, it gets frustrating because, you know, you're wishing you could find more than you're actually finding.
So one of the keys here is that we have to find a cousin with with a similar DNA, either the Y if we're focused on our father's line, or a mitochondrial if we're focused on our mother's line. And once we find a cousin that meets that criteria, then you can triangulate up to our
Yes.
closest. And
Yes.
that's
So,
proof.
yep.
That then
Well,
helps. That's the proof, right?
well, I would call it proof. So in on WikiTree, what we say is that um, that the DNA evidence helps to confirm the relationship, but it's not
Okay.
proof. Okay, the proof is in the genealogy. The genealogy is the paperwork. Now, what you just mentioned. So I was talking about my cousins who were descended from the four sisters. So you know what happened was that I have two cousins who are genealogists, old fashioned old style genealogists, and they denied the possibility that we had any native ancestors, and they did it on the basis that, well, there's no paperwork, there's nothing that can prove that we have native ancestors, so therefore we don't. And finally I said, well, what about DNA? And they said, we don't know how to work with DNA, we don't know what that is. We're happy to learn, but we just don't know. And I said, okay, well, I guess the first step would be, let's find a cousin who satisfies the criteria on line of descent. And so, you know, we went through and we found a cousin, and we asked her, you know, would you please take a test and share the information with us so that we can, you know, we can get this going. And she
What
did.
test? Which test did you ask her to take?
Well, mitochondria.
Okay.
Because we wanted to find someone who was a descendant of the four sisters,
Ah, got it.
right? So mitochondrial is the only way to do that. So we found her. She took the test. It showed that that she had a native haplogroup, but once she had done the test, now we could see the mitochondrial group on family tree DNA. We could look for matches, because until then we couldn't do that, right? Because you have to be a member of, you know, you have to have a mitochondrial DNA test in order to see mitochondrial DNA matches. And until she took her test, we didn't have access to that. Once she took her test, then she gave me access to her kit, and I was then able to do the comparisons. Now, you've taken a mitochondrial DNA test, and your mother has the DNA test, so you've got two ways of looking at the mitochondrial DNA tests. Anyway, so we found her, we did the tests, and then the strange thing was, you know, a few weeks ago, we did a session like this, and I introduced another cousin who took a mitochondrial DNA test and recently found WikiTree, and so we had her on. And I've got a cousin who lives here in town who contacted me out of the blue and said, I've seen things that you've written on WikiTree about, you know, haplogroup C1c. Am I one of those? And so we did her genealogy, and I found, yes, in fact, she's a matrilineal descendant, and so she did a test, and you know, she's I don't know what she is, my fourth cousin once removed or something. Um, she did the test, and she's one of the group now. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, I started trying to do this about 6 years ago. So it takes a while to start in fact, it was longer than that, because 6 years ago was when I joined WikiTree, and I had already been trying to do it before that. So what I had found was that on, you're on Family Tree DNA, and you can see some matches, right? And great, isn't that wonderful? You can see some matches, and then you might reach out to one or two, and they might correspond with you. They might, or they might not. But let's imagine that they do, and then you find out, oh yes, we have a common ancestor. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And now you and she know that, and who else knows that? Nobody, right? But if you go look at my profile, you can reach out from my profile to lots of people and to see how all these connections work. Because on WikiTree, we document it. See, on Ancestry and on all the other sites, it's all private information.
Mhm.
You work it out with somebody else, and you might figure something out, and but you've not demonstrated anything, and you've certainly not shared it with the world. So the point of doing it on WikiTree is that 2 or 3 generations from now, so your great grandchildren, let's say, would be able to uncover the work that you're doing now and say, oh, look, great grandpa Steve figured this out. And we're related to these people, and we're related to those people. I found out that I had a cousin who was captured by native people around 1692, I think it was. She was captured, and she was marched all the way um, from New Hampshire to Montreal. She was turned over to a family. After, when she turned 19, I think it was, she was married off. She had a family. She was baptized. She had a family, the whole 9 yards. Okay, and so I found out about her, and then I found out that because of my relationship with her, that I'm related to Mario Lemieux, the hockey star, and I'm also related to, I think his name's Jacques something Legault, who's the premier of Quebec, right? Because those people were descendants of that woman. So it takes a long time to figure all this out. Is my point. But once you do start figuring it out, then it just snowballs. That
Okay.
help?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's such a reward when all of this hard work pays off, right?
Mhm.
So
So,
am I the, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. What were you going to say?
So far, I've taken up a lot of time. Is it okay? Or do other people have questions? Or there's
Well,
one other thing that I
yeah.
could do, which would be to show you, let's see, my tree. Where's my tree?
So before we look at your profile, Steve,
Yeah.
since we're on the topic of DNA, I want to go back to Dan's question about linking. Can I take over the screen? Is that
Go
all
Of
ahead.
right?
course.
Okay, all right. So let me just ask, Dan, you're still there. You're still with us,
Yeah, I'm
right?
still here.
Right, great. So do you have any questions based on what we've been saying?
No, it's very interesting. And now I understand that you don't really upload the DNA to WikiTree. You uh, just say
Link,
that you had one through Ancestry.
right, right. So, and you've tested through Ancestry, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let me go now. Okay. Hopefully you see the WikiTree
Yeah.
home.
Yes, I see it.
Good. Okay, and if I were to, as like I said, this add menu is on every single page. So just what you're going to do, Dan, is you're going to go here,
Yeah.
and you're going to add a new test. And so it's, let's see, wait a second. This is, so first it tells me my current test list. So you can see that I've done an autosomal from Ancestry DNA. It gives me a little template if I want to reach out to other members that I find. I've done a mitochondrial, and then here's where you add your new test. So in your case, if you haven't linked any DNA, you'll just see add new test information. And then you'll say Ancestry DNA.
Oh, okay.
And then you would fill in this is optional, but your ancestry.com username is helpful for other members. And then just add your test. So it's as easy as that. Yeah. And you can remove or edit at any time.
Okay, that's that's easy enough. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And then depending on, so that will then be reflected on your parents and your grandparents. And I don't know how far you've built back your personal branch, but your test will reflect on their profiles as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do we have any other DNA questions before we go to look at profiles? Because this has been a really great conversation. I want to make sure that
Hi,
yeah.
I was wondering, and I was late, so I have a quick question on, because I have a million questions about how you do DNA. But I noticed that it says my last name is Wright, but I am not a Wright, and neither
Okay.
is my father. And it's a name that we carry,
Okay.
and I can tell you who I think it is or what their last name is, but I don't really want a bunch of Wrights showing up when I'm not related to them.
Mhm.
So is there a way to make that go, well, not go away, but be more accurate?
Okay. I mean, I don't know if we can make it go away, to use your phrase, but you might want to put a research note or a note in your and your father's biography that this was your last name at birth, but it doesn't match with biology. I mean, we do have an option on WikiTree to have, say, if you were an adoptee, you could have a adopted profile and a biological profile, but
Right.
that's not
Yeah,
really
I've tried to figure out how to do that. That's going to take me some more work. So I've got the tree of uh his adopted family because he was never formally adopted. So the thing is that when the the way WikiTree works is that it's telling me all my right connections, and
Yes.
they mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's already crossed out.
DNA and all.
I took a gander, Norma. I just searched you up really quick, and I can
Yeah.
see that the grandparents to you are already crossed out with the
Yes.
non-biological marker. So
Right.
DNA, written with a cross through it. I've
Yeah.
actually never seen that before, but
Yeah, I
that's
did
really
that.
cool too.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like you've already established that lack of relationship, but saying that it's a non-biological relationship. Um, that's what I'm able to view right
But
now.
that's all I can do, right? I mean,
I don't.
yeah, I have more questions on how to establish what I believe is the real one. But I know you were going to go to profile, so I
No,
will.
no,
I'll just
Well,
try and come to another time for
Norma,
another thing.
the thing is, I take it that your birth name was right.
My birth name is yes.
Yes, and so you, as long we're not going to be able to change that,
No.
right? That's a fact of history and genealogy. So for your profile, we'd never be able to have it be that it wouldn't show you all the rights. For your fathers, on the other hand, if since he was quasi-adopted, I guess fostered would be the right term, maybe? No, not
No,
fostered. But
he
he wasn't
was,
born with he wasn't born with the name right.
no,
And do you know what name he was born with?
I spent the last 20 years trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have based on the DNA that I've been able to track and trace,
Mhm.
I have a last name. I just can't actually put it to a person because they're all dead.
Right.
And then nobody's telling any lies. So,
Yeah.
and that's another question, and how to build out that tree, because it's a DNA tree that I've been able to put together. And so, yeah, that's why I said it's not easy, and I have that somewhat of the same problem on my mother's side, uh,
Yeah.
with names, because my great grandfather on my mother's name took his mother's name, but he's not. His father's name was different, and it
Yeah.
was illegitimate.
Now,
Yeah,
if
that's
I can suggest, Norma, because we do have some genetic genealogists that are members of WikiTree.
Mhm,
One of them is Emma Macbeth. She's a
mhm.
genetic genealogist, and she also works with Adoption Angels, which is
They've
one of,
tried me. They can't figure it out. I don't
oh,
have enough.
oh, okay. Okay.
They-
I
I mean,
thought
We
I
don't
they
have,
have it.
had a,
that's the thing, I can't grow, I mean, I can, and the other thing is, not all these people are on WikiTree. Only
yeah,
one family is on WikiTree. And, but that doesn't help me. I mean, I can, uh, and see, I guess my problem is, I want to be able to put, if you want to talk about your great grandchildren being able to say you already figured it out, well, I figured it out, but I can't. I have to find a way to put it on WikiTree that you permit, um,
Yeah.
and otherwise, I'm never going to, make it to the 10th degree of anything.
yeah. And I
So
guess, like Betsy was saying, there's always the research notes that you can put on the individual profiles to kind of explain where you're trying to go with that and what you've discovered so far. If you can't create profiles for those other individuals and connect them so that it looks like a family tree connection, then I would say the next best thing is to document it in your research notes for each one of those profiles, so that anyone else looking at that will understand what you've done so far and what else needs to be done to research it further.
Right.
and going further, there's you're probably already familiar with free space pages.
that's
Mhm.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have
Maybe
the
not.
people of New.
I've only been on Wiki for about 2 months, so
Okay, so a free space page is a page that you can create on any topic. It can be about your dog. It can be about the bridge that goes over the river near you. It can be about a family group. It can be a family mystery. That's what Betsy had, was the McMurray family mystery. We have a family. Well, New England has a family, the Hiltons, and the Hiltons were fishmongers. And one of the Hiltons came to New England in around 1630 or so, and there's really some curiosity about where did this Hilton come from, and what family does he belong to. And so to do the research, we've had to do a whole page about all the different Hilton families that were in England at that time and how they're related to each other as far as we know, and what we think, who we think Edward may be the son of this family or that family, but we're not sure. We can't tell yet. We don't have enough information, and so but we've left this free space page there so that anybody else coming along later is going to be able to say, okay, a lot of this research has already been done. They've already figured out a lot of stuff, but there's still some mysteries left, and for people to come along later and solve.
And
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's what I would recommend to you.
There we go. Okay. So just to show you, Norma, again,
Yes.
the add menu is the place where you get a lot of things done. So
I
you
never
would,
seen that on mine, but I'll look for it.
yeah, right at the top next to your name. And
Okay.
you would add a new free space profile. And then it can be whatever you want it to be. And also, while I'm here, I just want to point out that you can add an unrelated person. I mean, you don't necessarily have to add on, sisters and parents, etc. If you want to build something out, you can add this new person and then work to connect.
I do it all the time
Right,
for Notable.
but they're all the ones that I have are actually related to me.
Yeah, yeah. Just that's
Rubbing it is the other point.
um
But I can put in that free space page.
Syntax.
yeah.
Sorry, how I believe that they're related to me. I mean,
Yes.
I've already kind of written a book, but I can try to
Right.
condense it
Mhm.
into with research notes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's what's going on here. This is my current little research rabbit hole where I'm
Yeah,
trying to
multiple
say,
names, yes.
yeah, a couple of John Menzies, and it's not just me, I have a couple of other WikiTreeers I'm collaborating with. And
Okay.
as you can see, this is way too much for research notes. And so
Mhm.
if you're getting the sense that, oh, this should be overwhelming, then
It's
do
a
a free.
research page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
see, that's what I would have to do is a page because I have that kind of um information. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then you can just link from your father's page, say, see, and then you put the link to the free space.
Okay, Stacy. All right.
Yeah.
I may not remember that, but I'll be back so I can
Yeah,
get
yeah, you can always send me a message and I can.
And if I may recommend, Norma, one of a really good example of a type of free space page is a name study. Go check out some of the name studies or the one place studies that we have, and you'll see where people are gathering information about either certain surnames and families or certain places where they've resided, and that might give you an idea or maybe some inspiration as to how to approach your your free space page.
Okay. And what if these people are already on WikiTree, the person that I'm putting my research notes about? So if I say I'm related to James Henry Conyers, but I actually have no DNA link that I can prove, or actually paper link, can I, in my research notes, actually put his name in there? Is that
Of course,
going to be a problem?
you can put anybody, and well, other than living people, you can put anybody's.
He's dead.
Yeah. So you can put anybody's name and with a link to that person's
To that
profile.
person.
Sure.
Okay.
And then
All right.
say why you think so. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Kathy.
Steve, do you want to pick one profile that we should look at?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do I?
So
Oh,
you'll
sure.
have to share again.
Got it.
That kind of leads into what we were talking about overall too, Steve. Like your research with the DNA could be placed on a free space page. Like all these possibilities and all these little offshoots that you're interested in, you can put all that stuff down and come back to it later and continue to work on it.
Mhm.
So it benefits everybody.
Okay. All right. So let's see.
And just refresh or hit the family tab or refresh, and then we'll get that concise view. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Do
right.
we want to?
Sheboygan County.
Okay, born 1868 and died 1938. So we need some sources for William.
It's not too far from me. That's just 2 counties north of where I am. Sheboygan County.
Oh, you need.
Yeah, so
Are you,
census records or
yeah,
So Steve, you
probate
mentioned that
records.
you mentioned that you've got proofs from Ancestry. What do you mean by that?
So just my own background, I was, again, I have a extensive ancestry tree.
Yeah.
And again, my main goal was to see how this site could add to my, could make my DNA research more functional. I've since learned this site will do a lot more than that. And so this was what I did was, let me take you to, let me go down. So, Father, let me go down to the source, to me. Come on, here we go.
2 Rivers. Okay. It's just up the road from there.
Somebody lives here in Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah, I'm in Milwaukee. So I actively work on Germans in Wisconsin. It's one of my subspecialties. So when I see Germans in Wisconsin, I kind of perk up. I have
Okay,
a whole
so
bunch of that as my ancestry.
so this is a better picture then. Two Rivers, Manitowoc, Sheboygan, and Adam.
Yeah, those counties are right next to each other. And then there's your German ancestor from Bad Kreuznach, Rhineland-Palatinate.
Yep. Okay, so what I did, if you take a look, actually, there's almost nobody here in the middle. I just wanted to do a sort of a Y chromosome line and then a mitochondrial chromosome line because I was trying to figure out how could DNA help me. And I did one other thing, which was this. I added this line because I don't remember why I added that line. Never mind. Okay, so let's go take a look at a one of my lower down guys. Like, well, let's take my mom. Okay, so let's look at her. Okay, here is a source. Is this a good source?
In and of itself, it's a good source. Let's see. It's a certificate of registry of marriage number. So it's got a number. It's book 3437. So that's a book issued by the state of California. Is that right?
Yes.
And the license is issued on such and such a date. So you're naming someplace that you've looked at and you've seen the record, but nobody else can look at that directly, right? Nobody else can see that immediately. Now maybe if they went to Ancestry, they might be able to find that, right? I assume that you've got this record in your Ancestry.
It could be an
profile
ancestry, or it could also be on family search. It's probably on family search.
And that would be the
Okay.
preference, actually, to display it to other people without a paywall.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, I was gonna suggest that either you or Stephen or Denise might want to open this profile and use Sourcer and find some sources for this profile and show it. So Steve, there's a program. It's called an extension, a browser extension that it's called the Sourcer, and the Sourcer is used for picking up sources that are available on Ancestry and Family Search and other places like Find a Grave and other places as well, where you can find sources and basically grab the important information of those sources, copy them over into WikiTree, and so that they're displayed with a proper annotation.
And how do I get
And
that extension?
I just put the link in the chat. This will take you to a web page where it not only explains how to use the extension, but how to find it and install it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
are you on a normal browser, Steve, like Chrome or Firefox or Safari?
I'm on Edge. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with
Edge
the
is a
DuckDuckGo.
Well, let's see. Let's at least try something. I have pulled up Nancy Hervey through Family Search, and I've gotten some results, including the marriage where she was the bride to William Powers Schneider, and list her parents, and so like that could be carried over. I could try to demonstrate that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to share. Now my computer is old. If my computer freezes and I die, well then you'll know what happened. It's because it overheated.
Like
Well,
mine did.
I mean, it's fully charged. It's not as hot as it was, so I might be okay. Let's try it. Otherwise, you'll know. Only one presenter can share at a time. I'm going to replace current share, so I'm going to kick you off of yours. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. And I've already got the search results up on Family Search. Do you guys see this?
Not yet.
It's starting. Okay,
There we go.
Mhm.
So actually, to demonstrate how I got here, because it auto-populated a lot of the information, I went to Nancy's page, and towards the bottom, there was a little orange box here that said Search Family Search. Do you see that here in the corner?
Yes.
Okay, so I clicked on that button, and it generated this list of search results, because I was just looking for records. I wasn't looking for her in the tree. And I was able to find Nancy Ann Hervey, a bride in California County Marriages, 1849 to 1957. It gives her birth year. It tells us the date and the location where she married, and the spouse that she married, William Powers Snyder. And then again, it gives her parents, Edward Hervey and Mary Patterson, right? So let's go ahead and click on this. So this is the actual, well, this is not the record itself, but this is the page for the record. That's loading up right now. And actually, there is an image of the record itself over here. So this is great that we can see the actual document that was scanned in by California to verify that this transcribed information is accurate. And there's a lot more detail with this information. It even says how old she was, and it gets into the parents' names and everything. And you could go over here and cite this record by copying and pasting this and putting this directly into the page. But there's another thing that the Sourcer app can do. So if you see at the top of my screen here, I'm just floating over. You see this one?
Yep.
And it's got the single brackets around it.
Yep.
So that basically is representation of a citation, right? That's what you see when you see a citation on a page. That's usually inline citation. So I go here on this record page, and I can say build inline citation, or I can select build narrative with citation, and it gives me a couple of options. I have to move something on my screen. I got to move you guys over. Actually, no, this does not have a drop over. And then it has build source citation. Now, if I want to create a paragraph that describes all of this stuff that happens, I could build narrative with citation. It'll save to my clipboard, and then I paste it on the profile. Would it be okay if I do that for Nancy?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Nancy here really quick. I'm going to go into edit mode. I have to move some stuff around. Yeah, the little bar of where our heads are, kind of blocked away, but you don't see it. And now it's blocking the edit button. Okay, so I'm going to edit person profile here. And then I'm going to go to the biography. Okay, gotta move some stuff around. Where are you? Okay, right, so we have a fairly basic biography, and this is just auto-generated whenever you make a profile without any biography. It just adds the year and the both birth and death, but there's nothing to cite to that. Now we have the certificate of registration of marriage, a physical document here. I'm not going to mess with that. I might add a space or something here, you know, just this minor formatting thing. Don't mind me, but that's fine. Okay. Now, in terms of what we have as a scan, going back to this page, I'm actually going to go to our Sourcer app, and then I'm going to select Build Narrative as soon as it works. Okay, copied it. And then I'm just going to paste it in. And you can see what it's done. It's created a sentence, says Nancy, age 24, daughter of Edward Hervey and Mary Patterson, married Williams Powers Schneider, age 24 year, son of Adolph P. Schneider and Iris Muller on June 10th, 1950 in Los Angeles County, California. And then it goes through and creates the citation for the marriage here. So it has a ref tag, and that's creating the citation. Everything inside of that is going to be within the citation. It links to the family search record. It links to the family search image. So if anybody wants to see this stuff and verify it, now they can click on it. And then adds just additional information that it found in that record and closes the tag. Now, because this references tag is here in the sources, this is going to allow us to put this inline citation below. So it's actually going to show up above your already given source of certificate that's written in. It's just going to stick it right above that as a numbered inline citation. So let's go to preview here, okay? When I go to preview, you can see what it's done. It's traded that text describing the marriage and all the details, and then immediately after that has placed the number 1, which links to the inline citation, and that goes down to the sources and fills in all the data that is going to get you to that physical document. And again, this looks like it's slightly different than what Ancestry was recording, and it could be that it might be showing up at different spaces. Like it still says page 240, so that's the same. But now it gives you like an image number, and it gives you like all, you know, the microfilm information and extra stuff. So we want to keep all that. We don't want to get rid of this one for the sake of the new one, because you're getting the data from multiple perspectives or multiple, you know, access points. So I'm going to click out of that, and I'm going to just put in my edit summary. I'm going to say, here's what I like to say: bio build and source addition. I have lots of pre-fills, so and then I'm going to commit the changes, and that's a full save. And you'll notice that the changes are saved. It says so on the top. And now when we go into the document, there it is in the biography, the information that we added, and the source citation below it in the sources section. So just a small example of what that Sourcer app can do. It can speed up the process, you know, pretty quickly for you instead of having to type everything out.
That's tremendous, and just again, wonderful information. Super.
Yeah, try my best. So I'm
And
gonna start.
Steve, you can run Sourcer from Ancestry as well. So
Got
you meant you have an extensive tree, or so you're not going to have to bring everything over, you know, a bit at a time. It will work over you can bring a complete profile over.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all my questions. You guys have done great for me. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you for
Very
attending
well.
tonight, and thanks for being a good sport.
Yeah. We love it when people say, okay, look at my stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't have to look at any of my other profiles, but in a little while, maybe they'll be as good as what you guys have just done for
Just takes time.
I'll come back next time.
Yeah. This is not just a one and done sort of thing. You're welcome to come as many times as you want.
Okay.
So,
You know, show us one of your improved profiles. Maybe, you know,
I will.
that could be something to look forward to, and we'll see your growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, I think unless we have burning questions, maybe we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Our next one, we always run these on the second Thursday and the fourth Sunday of the month. So the next one is Sunday, September 28th at 11 in the morning Eastern time. So, yeah. Wonderful.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm going to also thank everybody who's watching afterwards. And I'm going to stop the recording.